JCI Ireland Meet the Members series. I'm delighted to be back again this evening. I've been really enjoying it so far. For those of you, it's your first time listening, their Meet the Members series is just where we have numerous JCI Ireland members coming on, telling a little bit about their story, about why they joined JCI and what they've gotten from it. Everybody's story is so unique because JCI is so broad. So I'm absolutely thrilled to be joined this evening by our 2022 Director of International. So we all know her as Pam, and she's here this evening coming to us from Cork. How are you this evening, Pam?
Hi, how are you? I'm fine, and you? Thank you for actually inviting me today.
No, I'm delighted to have you on. I can't wait to hear you telling kind of your JCI experience and what made you join. So I know that you're extremely busy, especially this time of year, so thank you so much for giving up your time. But I suppose we'll just jump straight into it. And I'd love to what I'm asking everyone, we all say that JCI is the best kept secret. So how is it that you heard about JCI?
Actually, I was talking with a friend of mine. We used to work together in the same company, and she was talking about JCI like every time. She was trying to invite me in different workshop training, but I was like, yeah, when I have the time, I will try to come one day. And she kept insisting on that. And at some point, I give up and I say, okay, let's try because you talk about it. Let's see. And yeah, and that's when my journey starts with JCI. And it was like maybe 3 years or 4 years ago. 3 or 4 years ago. And yeah, since I'm still here.
That's amazing. It is a case of quite often we hear about it from people we work with or people we're friends with. Like other people just come in randomly. Like I just saw an event being advertised in a newspaper and went along to the event, not knowing what JCI was. And little did I think that nearly 8 years later now that I'd still be part of this organisation because we belong to a simple 1 hour event. But yeah, like that is it. People kind of bring you into it slowly. What is it exactly? Because JCI is so broad. So we've got 4 pillars: international, business, community, and individual.
Yeah.
And quite often that can be quite overwhelming because we do so much. It's so broad. What is it that actually inspired you to join and become a member?
I think that as you talk, you already just provided, like the pillars first of all, because you have everything for everybody. It's really about that, and the thing is like in the 2 or 3 events that I attended at some point, each one was bringing you a lot of value. For a lot of actually at the beginning, some workshops are free actually, and some of them, of course, you need to pay. It's normal, but even for like workshop, they were totally free. I gained so much value for them and different fields that I can even use personally, of even even at work, in the workplace. So that was something that I was like, if those workshops can be like this, when I don't even pay and I go, I meet new people, and in 1 hour and a half, I gain so much. How is it exactly as soon as you join your member, active and non-active as well? So yeah, I was like, yeah, I was curious to see what more I can gain actually.
That's a great answer, actually. It's very true. I suppose we all, while JCI Ireland is the national organisation, there's local organisations around the country, and we all kind of have our monthly events. And before COVID, they were always in person, and you got brought along, and like that, you got to meet new people and learn things that you could bring into your personal and professional life. And as I said, that wasn't even being a member, and that's the one good thing about JCI. When we have our monthly events, you don't have to be a member to come along. There might be a little bit of a fee because you're not a member, and that's kind of nearly always included in the membership. But you know, it really kind of gives you that taste for it, which clearly it did for you.
Oh yeah, it was like catching fish in the ocean. You are good on that. Just it's really good on that. You don't expect to be that. Like you go there to just, okay, I will give you 1 hour and a half, 1 afternoon after work, and then that's done. And then you're like, okay, 3 year after a different role, and you're like, how? Like how? But yeah, it's quite an experience.
Yeah, I think we're good at giving gentle nudges to people to get them involved. So as you said, you've been involved now for 3 or 4 years. So you've seen a kind of the normal version before the pandemic, and then you've seen it online, and this year as we're kind of progressing back into kind of hybrid events as well.
Mm-hmm.
So for you, what's been kind of a very much an unforgettable experience that you've had over the last 4 years? One really kind of standout moment, or can you even narrow it down to one? There might be a few.
Like you say, it's hard to choose one, but I will try my best. But I wanted to go back to the part you say. Yes, I saw the physical part, and then the remote during the COVID time. And let's say that the JCI is really about people. So the physical part of the events and every meeting people, that was really like what bring you to connect with everyone. And yeah, you that was the best part of it. And I won't lie, we missed that during the COVID. However, during the COVID, we had that possibility then to attend some events that are mostly like in different country, that usually you need to prepare, have holidays, like arrange yourself and think about the budget to travel. And this time we were able to attend, let's say, the World Congress online and meeting more of the JCI members. So for that, I really like both of them bring a lot. Is Yeah, so it's just to see how we can manage to have both of them at the same time. That will be really something. Some of the events online, so people can still attend despite of the budget and what's happening with the today's economy. But to go back to your question about what events I can maybe never forget, will be attending my first Europe conference. I won't lie, I've been in the national convention from Ireland and different countries. I've been to different events from JCI, but to attend your first European conference is kind of wow. Like you can't describe that, because it's something you need to live once. Like only member can understand the first feeling when you get there and you see, first of all the work that have been put through behind this. It's really like every country when they host is kind of really huge work. And to see that it's not only the local chapter and maybe the national chapter of your country, it's like something global. So you have like member from different country, but like different country around the world. It's like everywhere, like like Asia, Africa, and even US and everything. And it's just like unreal, because you're just amazed, because you see everyone from everywhere. Some people you work with for different projects that you work on, but you never met physically, and then you meet them there. And of course, it's a lot of workshop training still, but at the same time, you have the time to connect and network and enjoy as well the city, visit with different, and you create friendship. And and it's like I want to go back to next year, and you after the 2 or 3 days, the 3 days or 4 days, you're like, okay, what is next year, and which country is it? And you start to plan for next year already, even you just finish the one pass. So yeah.
Yeah, I think you being the international director this year, it was the perfect role for you, the perfect year. And that was one thing actually I had to say, since I've got to know you at any of the events I've met you at, you always just have this, your smile just lights up the room when you go into it. Like you're always just this positive energy. But in Bruges at European conference this year, I mean, I think you were the happiest person in Bruges. You just loved it. I could see you from a distance across a room, and I could just say, Pam is just loving life right now. The way you went around and mingled with everyone, you were making contacts as well that that you're doing now collaborations from JCI Cork with.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just, you could just tell, you were just loving the experience, and that's, I guess, what you really, really enjoy about at JCI is the friendships and those international connections that you make, and you can see it on your face how much you enjoy it when you're in it.
It's totally, it was like, when the first time you go to Disney, if I would like maybe a candy, like a shop with a lot of candy, when you're like a candy lover, it's like, wow. And you have no brother, you just look everywhere. Like, I was like this, seriously, it's been a while, I didn't feel to be like, Okay. I don't know what to say. I'm just like, wow. That's, yeah, that's, I have no word to put on the feeling. It was really like amazing.
Yeah, no, I have to agree. So for those of you listening who don't really know what we're talking about, just to kind of break it down, you start off and you join a local organisation. So I would be a member of JCI Mayo, and then Pam would be down the road as a member of JCI Cork. So you'd have your regular monthly events where you meet up on the different areas. And quite often our events are very much what our members want to learn and what they want to get out of it. And then every year then as well, you'll have in Ireland, we've about 4 or 5 meetups in Ireland where the members from all across the country get together. And like that, it's networking, it's training, it's fun. We have a few drinks. It's not just all training workshops. We go out, we have enjoyable activities as well. We do a little bit of sightseeing wherever we are. But then the next level up then will be different international conferences. So, for example, JCI Scotland will probably be our next visit just at the end of January, where they have their European Debate Academy that many of our members travel over to, but also their Burns Night, which is an experience. It's an absolutely incredible experience. But one of the biggest ones of the year for us in Ireland then is the European Conference, which is normally around May, June time. And we were meant to host it, JCI Ireland were meant to host it in 2020. Now, unfortunately, that didn't happen, but we still managed to do it online and did it justice. But I think everyone is a bit disappointed. So Bruges this year was our first European meetup since the pandemic, and I think we all thoroughly enjoyed it. But that's going to give you a bit of background, and then World Congress then happens later in the year. But I think once you're a JCI member, and I think you'll agree with me, Pam, you mentioned and touched on it there that during the pandemic when things were online, especially at the beginning when we didn't know what was happening, you could be on a different JCI event every night if you wanted,
Oh
anywhere in
yeah.
the world. You were well able to once you were a member, you can literally attend anything. So when everyone bought their events online, we could literally be in Asia one night, we could be in America the next night, or you
Yeah.
could be literally in America this hour and in Asia the next hour. You could do as much as you wanted. So it's the same now that things are back in person. We could all attend different area conferences. We in Ireland travel to the UK, Scotland, and Malta a lot. But really, we can go to any of the conventions or any of the meetups. And I think that's one of the great things about JCI. No matter where in the world you travel to, there's a family kind of friends and networks waiting there for you. And Pam, where's next on your list that you're going to travel for JCI?
I start this week to work on my calendar for 2023. I'm scared. I'm really scared because like European conference is there, but I want as well to attend the World Congress to try that experience as well. Because yeah, that's the next step. You need to do that at least once. Then for sure, I was thinking as well about to go to Scotland, but as well I need to think about Dublin because as well in Ireland we have as well our events, proper events that we need to attend as well, and to meet the rest of the member from different chapters in Ireland, and that's nice to see them to catch up as well, and not only sometime on Zoom, and yeah, that's so many actually. I just need to prepare. I need 2 weeks to prepare my calendar for 2023 and adjust my days off and everything to be sure that I can be everywhere. But for sure, minimum not all the events, of course, in Ireland, and let's World Congress and see about the European one. But let's see, there's a lot, but it's hard to choose as well because you cannot be everywhere. That's the only reason it's hard.
Yeah, that is the thing. I think the beauty about JCI is the more you put into it, really, the more you get out of it. Because with every event that you go to, not only are you attending trainings and workshops, but sometimes when you're the organizer, you're developing those skills that you might not have had that then you can bring into your career and develop yourself personally. So next year is going to be a difficult one for us because the World Congress this year is also going to be in Europe, and that's later in the year in Switzerland as well. So
Exactly.
we all want to go to both of them. So fingers crossed we'll be able to. But like that, it is balanced in the calendar. Some years you'll be able to put more into it than other years. It's a balance in between your personal life and work as well.
Exactly.
You spoke a bit about the experience there, and at the beginning you said that your work colleague brought you along to a few trainings and you saw the value just in attending 2 or 3 of them. So in 4 years, especially with everything online, I'd imagine you've attended a lot of trainings. both the official JCI training courses that we do, like on leadership and effective meetings and things like that to help you, but it could be on anything. So for you in the 4 years, could you kind of handpick one or two of the best trainings that's made the biggest impact on you?
Like you saying, since I joined, there was a lot of training. Let's say I cannot even count per year, so I will not even pretend to count. But that's actually true. I remember when I joined, when we switched to online at the beginning of COVID, there was an event hosted, I think it's by JCI, I don't know if it's Sweden, Norway, I don't remember which one, but that was like 24-hour training. It was literally 24-hour training. Literally, like you start and then until the next day, and you had different speaker, different workshop. I attended that until 6 a.m. I think it was from 8 a.m. to I don't know what at 6 a.m. I give up. I was like, it's really good, but my brain was crushed. That was one that was like, wow, I never saw that. So and I was motivated. And then another one more physically we did as well is the debating. I did a debating training with Scotland. They organized that, and it was like a full weekend. I learned how to debate. It's not easy. I learned it's not easy because I don't like to lose. So when you speak, you need to find everything to say to win, and it's hard. And even worse when you're on the opposite team and you have to disagree with something you believe in. And you're like, yeah, and then you have to stay nice. It's hard. So this one was really a good training, and I wanted to. My next one that I hope I will attend this year, if everything goes well, of course, was the Leadership Academy. So that's one I really wanted to attend. One hosted by Ireland, as well maybe the one usually hosted every year in Sweden, I think. Right? Yeah, Sweden. So yeah, but debating is hard.
That's so funny. I completely forgotten about that 24-hour event. I think, was it Finland, JCI Finland?
Yeah, Finland, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I was kind of popping in and out. So I suppose in the earlier stages of the pandemic, when we were at home, there was nothing to do. So we used to jump on all these things and learn as much as we could. But like that, you were still talking to people through the online side. But I'd completely forgotten about that. But it was very impressive to see what they did so early on before people got used to Zoom and the technology. And the debating, yeah, completely agree. Debating personally isn't for me, but it's for an awful lot of members. Maybe someday I'll try it out. I used to be petrified of public speaking, so doing that was enough for me. But as you said, it's really hard to kind of go up there and learn the skills, and you could be literally debating against something that you really don't believe in it. But there's been a lot of fun debates. I really enjoy sitting back watching them. Some of the topics can be quite entertaining. Some of them can be a little bit more serious, kind of as competitions as the stages go on. But anybody that I know in JCI that's taken part in debating have all said it's been an incredible experience. So that's something that people are interested in. There's any amount of opportunities for public speaking and debating. So maybe next year, Pam, you might be on the JCI.
No. I can do maybe the public speaking, but debating no way, because no, it's not for me. Like I understood, I learned the skills. I can try to work on the skills, but no, no.
That's okay. It's not for everyone. As I said, it's not for me. But I'm pretty sure as the series goes on, we'll have one or two that are very passionate about their debating, and would highly recommend it to people. So it does differ. But yeah, I think it's funny the way everybody has different. I suppose there's different reasons why they stay in the organization, and there's different things they get involved in. And debating is for some people, but like that, as you said, it's not why we've tried it. It's not really for me and you. We're in it for other reasons, and that's the beauty of JCI, and the fact that it's a global network, that you can really get involved in anything around the world is incredible. Just to move on a bit slightly, so I know you said when you joined first, you got brought along by a work colleague, and you found an awful lot of value in those few events that you attended first. Do you think that since becoming a JCI member, that it's helped you in your personal life, your professional life, that it's made basically an impact, like a positive impact on who you are today in comparison to who you were 4 years ago?
Totally, no, like 100%. I won't lie, because let's say if we start on the professional level, GCI create that safe space where you can, first of all, you come with the skills that you have already, and it's like you plant some seeds. And in GCI, so you do projects, you can work in team or not in a team, you can have an idea about something and want to develop that idea from the beginning to the scratch to the end work, and in a safe space. And because of that safe space, you can grow your skills that you have already, and then you learn new skills that, first of all, you were not thinking to get. Maybe whatever, there's something you don't maybe think that that you will get because you don't think about them. And after that, you are like, see yourself like kind of like a flower in, like in spring. Let's say you like your brain is blowing, you develop yourself, and you can see yourself become someone more, like, even let's say if I'm really shy, I don't like to speak in front of people. I can do a lot of things behind the scene. I don't like to speak in front of people, but still you can organize things, talk with people, because the GCI actually create that safe space. So you can feel like, oh, maybe I don't feel confident. You have sometimes those voice about, like the the voice who are like, okay, no, maybe you cannot do that. And like it's always everyone struggle a bit with those, like, maybe I'm not confident because I don't know how to provide that if someone asks me a type of work, a project at work, because maybe I don't know that knowledge. In GCI, you have that safe space to learn the skills. If you don't know, you can ask questions. You have everyone to help you, and at the same time, if someone else cannot help you, we'll find someone else. And even though if both of you, let's say, don't work together, but they don't know, we'll try to figure out together. So you have really that's kind of how can I have a perfect word, but I was trying to find the perfect word to say that. It's like that unlock the potential that you didn't know that you have, sorry. So it's really like everyone, I think, has some potential about something. You don't need to be like, because you have as well entrepreneur, you have students, you have a different profile actually in GCI, so everyone come for different reasons. But I think it's like what you come from for in GCI, you get more for sure, and that along something and unlock totally something that you were not thinking about. And that's and that pushed me to go further in, even at work, in my daily work, to try to use what I learned from GCI and try to implement that in work, and try to see how I can link both, and as well the connection made maybe can help some for different projects that I have in mind. But I can spend 1 hour explaining that, but it's really about unlocking your potential. It's totally about that. And then professional, personal part of this question, I think it's really about the people you meet, because I think everyone has maybe close friend or not, but GCI create the friendship with people, and from everywhere. First of all, it's not like only local chapter of national one. It's really like everywhere in the world. Sorry. When I talk about GCI, sorry, I can't stop. So,
You need to take a drink?
No, it's okay. Let me see if it's I will try. So I think that the people you meet in GCI, they can be from everywhere. First of all, of course, you learn different culture. You can different, like, it's about as well to learn more about the human people. It's really about that, and you create friendship that can stay long. It's not about, oh, I work on a project, it's done. It's like you stay in contact, and every time that you can travel in one country, you know that you have one GCI member there that you spoke with, even though you never spoke with, but you attended one event, maybe online, you can reach out, and like you have someone there, someone, like you can travel solo, or you can do a solo trip, and you still know a lot of GCI members everywhere, so you still have some contact you can go and have a drink with. So it's everything at the same time. So of course, it's an experience that people need to try at least for themselves and see what they can gain. So.
I'm absolutely loving the enthusiasm, and like what a way to put it, like just to unlock your potential. It's so true. Like I know when I joined, petrified of walking into a room to say my name. Whereas this year, I was standing on stages not having prepped a speech, going, what am I going to say? I have a minute to think about this in my head. Like that journey of how I kind of got these gentle nudges and gentle pushes, pushing you slightly out of your comfort zone, but not too much to make you leave the room. And just slowly, it really is that supportive environment and that collaborative environment, as well as the friendships, because as you start working with people in projects and teams, you start forming the friendships, and people kind of know why you joined, and they can see things in you that you can't see in yourself, that they know that you just need that little bit of encouragement, and they're there to support you, and they're there to see you do the best you can do and be the best version of yourself. And that's the thing, it's not a job, it is voluntary. And as we said, kind of the more you put in, the more you get out. Nobody wants anyone to fail, but it's okay to fail. So if something goes wrong, it's just about communication, working with your team, collaborating, but you're not always maybe going to get the result you want. And then that's okay. It's like, okay, well, what do I learn and how do I do it better next time? And then you bring that into your work life. And then your boss gets that's really impressed, or your business starts thriving because of what you learned in a very safe environment. So yeah, I really love the way you put that. The unlocking the potential, and the way you compared it to a flower blooming in spring. It's a really, really nice way of putting it. And I haven't heard it described that way yet in this series. So it was actually really nice to hear that.
No,
I'm
but
conscious of
I
time.
want, the time, I never can stop to talk. Just one thing, actually, you just say something, and I want to add something on the,
I'm in no
like,
panic.
you're not scared to, like, to fail. That's in GC as well. I learned that actually even failure is not bad, because you learn from that and you go. But because you have that safe space as well, you feel you have that safe thing to tell you, okay, you will fail. It's not okay. It's not bad, because you will learn from it. But you still cover. Someone has your back as well. At the same time, you're not alone as well to think that you fail. So you have that kind of mental help, support as well. It's not only, you're not alone as well in that, and you're not scared to be like, who can ask and who can support me, maybe because I feel that I lost, it was not good what I did and everything. So you still have that like mental support, and I think it's really something important.
Yeah, without a doubt. Like I think when you get involved in things, as you said, you bring in your skill set, but to challenge yourself and to learn and grow, it's by taking on something that you've never done before. So mistakes may happen along the way, but that's okay. It's like you learn from it. But there's so many people to give you advice. Like the amount of people I went to for advice on different things this year, because they're stronger in that area than I am. So it's like, well, how can I do this better? And then that's how you kind of give people the opportunities, and then they're learning and grow, and then they pass it on to the next person, and it works really well the way it kind of works down. But there's always somebody who knows how to do it, or there's always templates on how to do things. So yeah, you're never alone in JCI, that's for sure. Okay, final question, because I am conscious that you are very busy, and I know that you probably want to head off and do other stuff for the evening. But why would you recommend, if you were talking to a stranger on the street now tomorrow and you said you were a JCI member, and they're like, well, what's JCI? We've talked a bit about what it is tonight, being the leadership development organisation for people aged 18 to 40. Why should someone join? Like if they're aged 18 to 40, why should somebody join? What would you tell them?
I think in the early age, like let's say 18 and 20, the young people, I think that's a plus. That's a really, like, with the way the world changing, new skills need to be learned all the time and everything. And the workplace is never like stable for the moment. We never know what's going to happen. The way the time they find maybe a position of something, a job, they can learn skills, and they can first of all add something value. They can add value on themselves to be more valuable for the workplace they want to attend, or they want to apply to. So I think in the early stage, that's really good. Even actually later, if you want to change position in life, at some point you want to change career and everything. So it's not really about the age, it's more about like if you want to change career, and just here you have like help you to be like, okay, maybe you don't know, you're not some skills, you want to improve some skills. in GCI you can learn that, to meet people from different fields as well. So they can as well, you have that connection, because as well at some point you have networking part. So everyone has different skills, different backgrounds. So you can always reach out to someone for advice for like your day, to find what you want and find your career and everything. So it's not only about talking about that and that. No, it's really open to a lot of things at the same time. And that's why I even try to push my sister and my brother, but I'm waiting for my brother. Is still young, so I need to wait for he's 18. But my sister, I'm trying, like 2 years I'm trying, but for the moment she's studying, she just needs to finish, and then we'll talk about it. I will even pay her the first year if I need, but because and you meet people, maybe I think that I have no word. It's like, it's an experience that you need to live once to understand. That's all I can say. It's not like to go. It's a club that you really are proud to be. Actually, it's really about that. At some point, it's not a club you can be like one out in 10 years, or you can be ashamed to be having part. It's like it's been part. It will be part of your life, even though you finish. You leave. You are 40, and even though when you leave, you're still connected with people. So it's for life. Well, let's say it's for life in one word.
Yeah, that's very true. Like, while we do have that age, which can be really unfortunate sometimes, especially when people only discover it when they're like 37, 38, they're like, oh, we wish, or they're already turned 40. It's always like, oh, but those who kind of have been involved, they quite often come back and they help, but they'll still go to events or, come along to the socials because they still want to be part of the network. So I have to say, Pam, as always, it's been a pleasure to chat to you. As I said to everyone earlier, you always just have this big smile that lights up the room, and your enthusiasm. It's been a pleasure working with you all year. I think I've seen how far you've even come this year. You've taken on a role or two that you hadn't worked in before, and how much you've learned as it went on. And next year, then you'll be mentoring someone else who goes into those roles. So it's I always love seeing the process of watching people kind of when they start as they move on. But I've thoroughly enjoyed working with you, and I hopefully we'll be working together again in the future. But for now, I want to just say thank you very much for being part of the series, giving up your time, and I will let you go. So thank you very much.
Thank you. It was really interesting, and I was happy to talk about GCI. So.
There we go. It wasn't too bad after all. So we're going to be joined by some more members over the next few evenings as well at 7 p.m. On the same places, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube. Providing technology continues to work for us. I think it went a bit better tonight than it did with Charlotte. But we look forward to any of your questions if anyone wants to join in live. And if not, you can always watch back and hear about the different stories that our members get from JCI. If anyone has any questions, you can reach out to us on any of our social media platforms or contact us on the website, and we can put you in touch with somebody locally who can let you know kind of what's coming up soon and what you can maybe get involved with. And like that, you can always go along to an event and see if it's something for you before you sign up. So Pam, thank you very, very much again, and I will say good night.
Good night.